Yeah, I just want to talk a little bit about this Mayweather Pacquiao thing. I mean, we already know, we've been waiting about 7 years for this fight. Uh, we've been waiting this, all of the speculation that everybody has had over the years about who's going to do what to each other and, what Floyd's going to do to Manny and what Manny's going to do to Floyd. But we're going to get past all of that, man, and we're going to get to some of the real deals. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm going for Floyd. It's not because he's black. I can easily make that argument and say, yeah, because he's black, I'm going to go for him and all of that. I could do that, but I'm a big fan of boxing. I've been watching boxing for years, man, since the 80s. And I've seen all of the great fights, man, since I was little, all the way through the 90s, all the way through the 2000s, and up to where we are now. I rarely miss a fight. And this one right here has reached different levels of different levels of magnitude, man, because of social media, all of these different outlets and different platforms. But what I really want to say is that it's reaching greater heights because all the fanboys out there are taking it to the next level. It's become a race thing now. Um, because people are afraid that, somebody black is going to be the face of the sport of boxing. And everybody wants their great. There's nothing wrong with that. Everybody wants a great. Everybody wants a great white champion. You want a great Asian champion. You want a great Japanese champ if he boxes and he's good. You want a great black champion. Blacks have been dominating for a long time. Mexican champion. Mexicans have been dominating for a while. Now they're on the rise to take over the sport. So of course, I mean, you want Floyd out of the way, so you can have somebody that you can be proud of and say, hey, he represents us. He represents the culture, and run with the torch. But it's a lot of disrespect right now, man. And this fight is very reminiscent of Jack Johnson and the Great White Hope. This is exactly what this is like. This is what it's about. It's means to promote the fight and everything, but you know, it Pacquiao is now a race savior. They want him to be the savior for their race. Even white people have sided with him. Mexicans have sided with him. A lot of people, blacks have even sided with him. So I can't really go into all of that. But what I can say is that if you go for Floyd Mayweather, you're looked at as being a guy that most of the people that are going for Floyd he's black is because he's black. That's what they say. Oh, he must be black. He's a Floyd fan. He's black. All the blacks are going for Floyd. I actually hated Floyd in the early 90s, in 96 and all of that when he was the champ, when he was just barely coming in and he captured his first title and all of that. I was a big Roy Jones fan back then, Winky Wright, Shane. I was still watching Evander Holyfield, Lennox Lewis, you know what I mean? I was watching Tito Trinidad. I was watching a lot of guys. I was watching my man Puerto Rican. Who am I thinking of? Miguel Cotto. I was watching him in his humble beginnings. I was watching a lot of guys at that time dominate the sport and guys that were up and coming. And I didn't really care for Floyd that much. I mean, when he was Pretty Boy Floyd, I didn't really like Floyd until he fought Oscar. And Oscar was one of my favorite Latin guys. Of all. He actually is one of my favorite Latin fighters of all time. Outside of Hector Macho Camacho, I really love Oscar De La Hoya. And, me and my best friend got into, argument when him and De La Hoya got in the ring. And, my boy was like, hey, man, you're going to have to give him his just due if he beats Oscar De La Hoya. I don't want to hear you saying nothing else negative about Floyd. And sure enough, we shook hands on it. We placed a bet, and I lost. So after that, I started watching Floyd for what he was worth. I had heard about him. Actually, I gave him his credit when he beat Diego Corrales, because I thought Corrales was going to knock him out. You know, I just knew he was going to knock him out because Diego was knocking everybody out at that time. And I just swore up and down that it was going to be Diego. And Diego got in there and got knocked out. And then I thought Zab would have been able to do it. But Zab, I knew he was a loose cannon, and I knew something was bound to happen in the ring that, you know, pretty much how it happened, I knew that was going to be the case, you know. So uh, it is what it is. But I just want to talk about that, man. It's a lot of things, man, going against Floyd, and nobody wants to give a guy credit. You know, he's helped, you know, produced a lot of money for the sport of boxing, and every fighter that he fights, he puts money in their pockets and sets their families up for life. You know, these guys are coming up off of this dude, man, and nobody wants to reach back and tell him thank you or how much they appreciate him. And, you know, it's just a lot of drama when it comes down to him. Oh, he's a nigger, he's a woman beater, he's this, he's that, you know. But outside of all of these character defects, you know, that you want to bring up, Floyd is one of the best pure boxers that the sport has seen in a long time since Sugar Ray Leonard, man. You know what I mean? We haven't seen anything like it. And even Sugar Ray can't say that he's better than Floyd because Sugar Ray's defense wasn't as solid as Floyd's is. But that's on another topic. But I just want to bring that stuff up, man. I mean, this guy he keeps these guys relevant, you know, because they get to bounce around off of his name and make money, go do all of these interviews and write books and do commercials. And, you know, these guys get to do everything behind Floyd Mayweather, man. And they want to call him, you know, a nigger and look at what he does with his money. Oh, he's wasteful. You know, he's cocky. He's this and that. And let's get to the cocky part. Who doesn't want to see somebody maintain confidence at what it is that they do? Who doesn't think that they're the best at what they do? You know what I mean? You could go on, you could go to these broadcasters, these sportscasters, or you could go to the anchors on TV, and you probably gonna find out where some of these guys are beefing and arguing with each other about who's the best on the show and all of that. I mean, come on, man, get out of here. You know, you go always maintain confidence. You know, a lot of y'all dudes thinking that y'all swinging. You know, your dick bigger than the next man's, and you can please his woman better than him. That's cockiness, brashness. So it's just one of those things where there's nothing wrong with somebody believing in their talents enough to put themselves up high on a pedestal. I don't have a problem with that kind of stuff. I don't have a problem if Manny Pacquiao does it. I don't have a problem with whoever does that. I rather like it. I enjoy it. It's entertaining. You know what I mean? But you know, I just had to talk about it, man, because I'm tired of the racial stuff. I'm tired of going back and forth with people about who I like and why I like them. You know, Floyd exudes boxing, you know, and anybody that gets into the ring that's a pure boxer, you know, I'm going to like him. I like Keith Thurman, even though he's more of a puncher first than he is a boxer, but he can box. And he exudes boxing. He moves, he sticks, and he plays defense. You know, sticks and moves, he plays defense, he counters, he does all of those things that a boxer would do, you know. I like a lot of guys, man. I like Tim Bradley. I like these guys, man. Amir Khan, I like Amir Khan. He can't defend himself. He's more of a fighter, you know, than he is just athletic, you know what I mean, and happen to be fast and things like that, man. But I really had to get that off of my chest today. Roger Mayweather, another great, you know, that they don't want to give respect to. Roger Mayweather should have already been in the Boxing Hall of Fame. If he isn't already, I could be mistaken, but I don't think he is. He's in the Nevada Hall of Fame, Boxing Hall of Fame, but he's not in the Boxing Hall of Fame. And they gave Freddie Roach the Trainer of the Year when Floyd has been undefeated for 19 years in the sport. You know, so there's no reason why Roger Mayweather should be in a position where he's never won that type of award. You know what I mean? So we're going back to the Jack Johnson days, man. And, you know, they want to just dig anybody up out of the grave to fight Floyd. And they deem this one great and that one great, but nobody can beat him. So they want to run to this little bitty guy now. So we'll see what happens, man. You know, good luck, guys. Hope you guys have a good time watching the fight. Peace.